Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
So after that, I have switched to Selenium Java, and I had worked in Cineverse. It is they have acquired some of the projects from Verizon, and they have their own products. And I have worked for Cineverse. For it is a shorter duration with Cineverse. It's only 1 year. And after that, I had joined with the Quantella, where I had worked on automation engineer and lead. So I have automated web application with Selenium, Java, Python, mobile applications automation using Appium for Android and iOS. Also, I have automated APIs, and I have used APIs and JSON schema validator to validate the JSON schema itself. And I have worked on DB automation, like capturing data values from database and comparing the view, whether it is the same or not. So, and also I have worked on uh, projects where there is no UI, there is no tool. So after I moved out from Quantella, so had joined with Testing Experts. So Testing Experts is a service-based company, and so they have different clients, 50 plus clients they have. So with the Testing Experts, I have joined as a manager. In 1 year, I have promoted to senior test manager also. So there I have implemented couple of automation frameworks where there is no GUI, there is no tool. For example, we have a requirement from the client, so they want to automate the PDF. So I have used some open source libraries and automated PDFs without using any tool, using simply Java. And also I have automated Linux-based applications, like executing the commands and capturing the results without any tool. So apart from our regular work, with the APM automation and Selenium web applications and desktop applications with UFT. So also I have implemented a couple of the frameworks. So I have experience in frameworks like data-driven, keyword-driven, and hybrid-driven, page object model, Cucumber. So I have worked on multiple frameworks, and I have implemented from the scratch as well. So this is about my career. I have overall 13 years of experience in IT, so which includes both functional automation and and also have a training experience. I work as a freelancer for Wipro, Fidelity, and Infosys, and based on the demand, I give the trainings. Also, I work as a APM trainer for Ramesh South in Amitpet. So I do give trainings on online, like on the demand. So also I work with multiple people. I used to give trainings to the US people based on their demand. So I have given corporate trainings to US companies as well on Appium and Selenium, both Java and Python. So this is background about myself, before we start. Also, I would like to know, usually since it is a corona pandemic, so otherwise we would have see each other, and it's supposed to be a classroom training. So to make this training is more interactable, I will be asking couple of questions during the training. So I want you to participate, answer everyone. If you don't know also, No problem. Before I start topic, I will ask couple of questions to people. Whatever you know, it is not a definition. Yeah. I'm not expecting any definition. So in general world, what you know about that, maybe some of the topics, so you people already know, you know the definitions, uh, but you might not implementing in the real world. So I'll give some suggestions and tips how exactly we can implement. So those things. Okay, so I will ask a couple of questions, and before we start the any topic and the end of the topic, I will ask a couple of questions, and you will get the confidence. Okay, this is what I learned. This is what I have gained after this topic, learning this topic. So I will include and some of the small talks I will give like deriving test cases for small things. So maybe that is how you will also do some practical kind of thing. You will practice on it, and you will come back to me in the chat group and whatever the practice or whatever the assessment you have done. Okay. So this is about myself and the training, what we are going to learn today and tomorrow. So before that, I just want to know. So as of now, I have seen there are 19 attendees. So I want to know. So how many of you from automation background? Uh, so just type in the chat automation if you are from automation background. Just message as a automation, and if you are from manual, just message as a manual or functional testing. So that will help me how I can start my training. Like based on that, I will give the examples and how you people come up with. Okay, I've seen uh, as of now, I have seen most of them automation. Okay. As of now, I have seen three manual, rest of them are in automation.
Hey viewers, are you looking for formal training on SRE practices? Take our SRE program. This course will teach you how to successfully implement site reliability engineering in the modern day 24/7 services. Kickstart your SRE training today. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
Okay, DevOps also great. Okay, development also okay. Dev team great. Okay, fine. So before we start, actually it is like not regular training which I give it to the other companies. There is some customization from your management. So they have some challenges, and they want to highlight some of the things. So this is the agenda today I'm going to cover, and you might see a couple of things you are already aware of it. So even though you know a couple of the things, maybe you will not apply it at the work environment. So I will give some suggestions based on my experience along with the topic description. I will give some suggestions how to apply that at workplace. So I do take multiple interviews during hiring process. I've taken people will answer gives the definition very well, but when it comes to workplace, they might not able to apply their skills or knowledge whatever they have. So they might not able to apply that at work. Okay. So for that, to avoid those kind of things, I will give some interview questions. So why we will ask that question? So I will also give the answers for those interview questions, and I will give explanation like why we will ask that question to the people who attend the interview, so that you will understand. Okay, this is what I should know because this is what their system works for. So if you go to the interview also, it will be different. Same questions will not be asked in every interview, based on their organization, based on their methodology they follow, based on the team, based on the modules, based on the domain systems which they work on. Based on that, the interview questions vary from company to company. So what you have to focus on when you join to the new company, whenever you are working on a particular product. So what you have to know exactly to be a happy tester. Okay, I'll give one experience before we start. So one of my colleague, so he used to come to office when I was, when I was having 2 years of experience. He used to scared to come to office because he was scared because lead may scold him and the work which he has done yesterday, and manager might have told, and the application which was tested by him went to production, there might be a production issues. So daily he used to come to office with a scary mind, and with a upset mind, and he was confused also. The reason, and one day we told him that now the reason he was scared to come to office, the reason he is not confident what he is doing. So what he has tested, so what he has written the test cases. So when you are confident about the work we are doing, we can come to office with a happy mindset, and we can enjoy, we can have a chat with our colleagues, and also we can focus on the work with a without worrying other things. What will happen if I go to office? If some issue comes in the production, is it really my issue, or is it really an application issue? So there will be a different things are involved in it, because whenever we go to office we have to go in a mindset, in a confident mindset. Okay, this is what I'm going to do today. Before you start your day, you plan your day, what you want to do for the day. And so and at the end of the day you plan how, whether you meet the expectations what you set internally. Might be the work will be assigned by your manager or TL or other person, but also after assignment, work assignment, you also think, you also plan what I have to do and which way I have to do, and how I can complete it soon with a more coverage, and with a confidence, and also you buy some confidence on the work you do on a particular day. So that is more important. Not instead of doing executing 100 test cases in a day, and you gain the confidence on the test cases which you have executed for that day. So how you will get, so whatever I have tested, it's a risk-free application. How do you get the confidence? How your seniors will get the confidence the work you have done? So those are the things we will learn. So how we can prioritize our work. So how we'll do that. So those are the things I'll give small tips, and based on my experience. So I'll give it to you, and at the end of the every session, I will give time to you to ask the questions, so that any questions I will be clarified after end of the session. So also I would request, since it is a classroom training,
Hey viewers, trying to get into DevSecOps? Enroll for our DevSecOps certified professional programs and earn the certification that shows you are fit for these technical roles and requirements. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
so if you have any questions, better you park till complete that topic, or before I move to next slide, so that it will not affect others. I mean, it will not affect the subject which I'm talking about. So that is the one thing I want you to follow. So for every topic, as I told, we have a question and answers for 3 to 5 minutes. During that time, if you want to take small break, like having water, taking some breath, you can take during that time. So we'll be having after 2 hours, I will be having a one tea break. it will be 10 to 15 minutes, and lunch break at 1:30 or 1:30 to 2 o'clock, and we'll be having another tea break at 4 o'clock, 4 to between 4 to 5. Okay. So we'll plan accordingly. So any questions? These are the agenda we are going to discuss. And before I start, anybody have questions on me? Anybody want to know more about the topics we are going to cover agenda? So feel free. I would request unmute. No, it's a nothing wrong. Yeah, it's not our day-to-day work. Okay. If you speak something, if you ask some simple question, it's not a wrong. You can ask any question if you are not aware of that question. So I'm okay. So I want you to speak, people. Whenever we have time. No questions before we start. Okay. So can I start? Hope I may assume that you are not able to hear anything from me.
So
Hope you
Mohan, I
all
would
are.
like to know, if some tests are like breaking, right? Whether it's regression or slow. So how you proceed, like how you validate those tests and how you are going to fix it up. So the technique I want to know.
Okay. In the automation scripts, when you executed the automation script, few tests will get failed, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So can we cover that in during some regression testing? Can we
yeah,
cover that?
sure. Yeah, sure. No problem.
Yeah, definitely. Arika. In real time, maybe I'm also very good at automation. Maybe you may ask the challenges which you face. Like frequently the requirements are changing every time I want to change the experts. So how to mitigate that one? How do I? These kind of questions, the day-to-day challenges, and I have huge test data. So how do I test with the huge test data? If you have such kind of questions related to automation, feel free to ask. Definitely, I'll answer, and I'll give some suggestions also. Okay, and also I'll give some suggestions and using. So most of the time we will use data driven. Okay, anyhow, I'm going to explain in the training session. If you have any challenges in your day to day work, feel free to ask, and I'll give some suggestions based on my experience. And if not, I'm able to answer maybe after break, or I'll get back to you and give you the answer. Most like I feel that I can answer all of your questions, and I can give the suggestions on it. Definitely. Okay. So introduction. So in the introduction, so I'm going to talk about very basic. So I have seen a couple of the people from automation. Okay, how many of you don't know manual testing before you come to automation testing? So you can unmute and you can say, I know only automation. So can you use your chat only automation, don't know manual testing? The people who said automation, only automation, don't have manual background. Can you message me in the chat group? Who knows only automation? They never worked on a manual. They may know it, but they may not work on manual testing. Only Akshay, rest of the people? Okay. So I'm expecting more. The people who worked on manual and automation, initially they started their career manual and automation. They can say manual and automation, who have experience on both. Okay, the question, yeah, still I'm expecting, yeah, manual and automation. manual and automation. Good. I'll tell you the reason why I asked this question. Because the people who directly came from automation without having manual background, they might not know how exactly they want to derive the test cases. And the people who have came from manual background and they are working in automation, so they will not focus on those things whatever they were applying on manual testing. Okay, so the first category is no automation, they don't know manual. So because they don't know how they will derive test cases from the requirements, might not be. They might know, but they're not used to it. They don't have experience deriving test cases from the manual. Manual test cases.
Hey viewers, our Mastery in DevOps engineering program can help you to hone the skills necessary to succeed in high level DevOps positions. So, what are you waiting for? Enroll now and earn certification that show you are keeping pace with today's technical roles and requirements. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
What they do is they will depend on the manual test cases and they will automate the those test cases. And the people who have the second category who came from manual background and automation, most of the time I have observed from my teammates, though they are manual background, they will still depend on the manual test cases. So actually, okay, so we will automation guys will depend on the manual test case, but also we should be able to find out the gaps in the manual test cases, and we should be able to give the suggestions to manual team to update their manual test cases. Sometimes the manual test cases are not updated, are not up to the mark, and they are not covering all the functionality. So before we are automating any module or any test case, we should know in and out about that module. What are the affected areas? For example, you are doing some payment. For example, I'm going to buy a, if I take a Amazon, so I may placing a order with coupon and without coupon. For example, if I take a place a order with coupon, it will be affecting the payment, the receipt, and the other things. So you should know in and out. So like if you are doing some transaction, it will affect other. So if you know those things, the while doing it, while automating, while designing your automation systems, you will cover the other areas also, not only focus on that test case. So that is very important. So not, don't always depend on the manual test case. You should be able to understand the product. So and that is how you can give maximum coverage for that test case whatever you are doing. You will be finding the, you will be catching the good bugs which manual testing may miss it. So that is also very important. So that is the reason, so even though you know a couple of things very basic, I'm giving little brief about it. Okay, so I've seen 60% from manual and automation, 50% from only automation background. So, okay, so I'll give the suggestions and the people who are in manual and automation. Uh, so I will give you some suggestions. So how do we focus uh, more to, get the, identify the test case, good test cases to catch the bugs. Okay. So introduction. So can anyone tell? Not only anybody. So why testing is important? And in the, I don't want any definition. So in general world. So why testing is important? If the definition also okay, and I'm expecting answers from you. You can unmute and you can answer. Okay, in the chat window. Stability. Okay. Quality.
Maintain trust.
Sorry. Yeah, you can unmute and speak also. Maybe in, okay. Trust and product. Okay.
Free.
Yeah. Reliability. Product as built right or not. Okay. Make sure application is working as expected. Okay. Maintainability. Okay. Great. Okay. So why testing? So before, for example, in general words, I will tell you. So in day to day, we will do a lot of testing. So even though we are before we become a tester, or not only tester, day to day, everybody will perform testing. If you go to market and before you buy some vegetables or fruits, you will check the size and you will check the quality. You will check the look and feel. I mean, the fruits are fresh or not, and the size and the appearance. You will check. Whether there are any damages. You will check all those things. Okay, so that is our day-to-day life. When it comes to software, so we will check. Uh, we'll check whether the product is meeting the requirements or not. So whether product is up to the mark or not. So how do you know? So product is up to the mark. Okay. So before that, we will see if we have not done any testing, what will be the impact? Okay. For example, I went to the market and I bought kg apples. So when I came back to my home, I didn't check anything. I just asked the vendor to give 1 kilo apples. He has given 1 kilo apples. And the moment I came back to my home, and my wife started scolding me. So the reason, because maybe those apples are not good quality, or the apples are not fresh. The size also not good. Some of the apples are broken and damaged. So there might be any reason. So we will think that wives are always wise. So they will scold it. So we will forget about it. But actually, so if it is a apples, it won't affect much on our pocket. And maybe you'll spend 100 or 200 rupees for the apples. But missing bugs and missing issues can cause many lives and huge amount. And there might be a reason to shut down the companies and their organizations also. So I'll see a couple of the disasters because of software bugs. Okay, so that so this is one of the airplane crash. So because of the software bug, there are 264 people dead. Okay, so the complexity, the people who worked at the system, there might be sometimes there will be a complex module, so you have to give more focus, and there will be a less impact. Okay, like if you buy apples, it will be affecting some small amount, 100 or 200 rupees, but some of the bugs will impact life cost. For example, if we eat the same apple, maybe I may get sick. Okay, so that may causes some other reasons. Maybe sometimes it's a less 100 200 rupees, but we eating that apple, it may causes my health. Maybe I may hospitalized for a couple of days. So we have to very care about every issue. So for us, even though if it is a cosmetic for tester, every issue is a issue. Even though the priority, maybe the priority severity is low, but we should be able to catch irrespective of their priority. So we have to focus on each and every minor bug we identified. So this because of the bug which they missed. So before that, I want to explain in earlier days, before 90s, 80s, we don't have organizations don't have separate testing team. Developer used to do testing, and so after the testing, it is going to move to production. So later they find that developers are more concentrated on the developing part, and testers are more concentrated in testing part. Again, now the trend has changed. The organizations are expecting the people should know development also, because testers are doing without having knowledge of internal tech structure of the program. Because of that, they are missing some of the bugs. Now organizations are expecting estate roles, which they know some of the internal structure of the application. Then only they can identify the bugs, good bugs. They might not be able to derive all the test cases from the requirement. So that is the important, okay, of the testing. So this is one of the disaster, like this is the radiotherapy mission. Because of software bug, there are many people died. So there is another disaster like satellite launch. There is a huge amount they spent, and it has blasted after a couple of minutes. So this is the reason testing has comes into picture. So that is the reason testing is very important in day-to-day life. So we may think that Apple is, if we are not buying Apple is quality Apple, it may cost 100 and 200 rupees, but eating that may cause serious issue. So that is the reason we have to be very careful, whenever we are designing test cases, identifying bugs. Don't think that that is a minor one. Maybe that can be a serious issue after some time.
Thanks for watching. Want to study further? Join our training programs today.